Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of Miss Gorgeous Diary. Once again, I'm your host, Miss Gorgeous. For the last decade, I have gained some insight from multiple job experience. Today, I picked out a couple of them to explore in this video. In my opinion, these are basic and essential info that you should know before starting any jobs. Let's get the ball rolling. Number 1. The common elements of every job that you may encounter. It usually takes some weeks to 6 months to feel comfortable when you first start at any position. It depends on the complexity of the job itself, the culture, and the support that you receive from the organization. For example, working as a sandwich hand probably will take you less time to get familiar with compared to taking a position as an interior designer. Before breaking down the content within the image, please keep in mind that the numbers are only indicative. They can be varied based on individual circumstances, and I did not round them up because I prefer to make them look more intimidated and complicated. There will be about 1/3 of the job which you may enjoy. It could be something like convenient locations, receiving recognition for your past experience, or supportive work environment. The other 1/3 is what you don't like about the work. It could be increased workload, personality conflicts, poor communication or ineffective teamwork, or extremely steep learning curve, or some knowledge and skills that may be implemented slightly different from the textbook that you have learned from uni. There's always a gap between the practical and theoretical world. The last element is the unknown or unexpected. The example for these could be the hierarchy, which is something may not be covered in textbook. Every workplace has its own hierarchies, culture, and systems. One more thing that you should keep in mind is that the percentage of each of these elements might be impacted by changes which take place at the organization, such as the change of directors, managers, the influx of new staff, or the resetting of your personal goals and values. Maslow hierarchy of needs. It reflects exactly what I have observed in the last 10 years since I started my first job. The bottom two zones, which include the survival and security needs, are the reflection of me and my friends freshly out of uni, looking for work to make ends meet. This stage can be quite chaotic because it may require some crucial decisions such as relocation for work, adapting to a new workplace culture, and even long-term career reorientation, just in case what you have pursued turned out not what you thought it was. Don't feel behind if you were in this category, because you might be surprised by how many people are on the same boat. Next, the third zone is about love and connection. It represents a period which people have already settled at work, and they may want to transition into having family or children commitment, or they may want to reconnect with friends from high school as well as establishing new friendships. Interestingly, most people only move onto this stage after having their financial aspects sorted. Finally, the self-esteem need is one of the most interesting group out of the 5. It can be observed in some senior people at work, or one of your family members, or someone in a friend circle. These people might have been in their career for at least 15 to 30 years. They're pretty knowledgeable and experienced. Their professional skills boost their confidence. Very well respected in the community. Their emotional, financial, and physical well-being are well maintained. They are more interested in recognition and higher achievements, skill enhancement, and managerial positions. This is because financial safety has been achieved. It's their sense of self-worth, professionalism, and ego that needed to be further reinforced. Especially when you are junior, these may be your go-to people, as some of them are quite happy to be approached with questions. Lastly, to gain a better understanding of self-actualization concept, it will be explored and compared to other stages along with some statistics. So let's say the population of all people I have came across is 100%. About 3 to 4% live in self-actualization, and I hope to further expand these numbers at some point. About 16 to 17% have been either borderlining or occupy up on the self-esteem stage. The rest 85% of the population belongs to the first 3 stages. Also, this statistic only valid and correct up until the moment this video is published. Self-actualization can be described as a state in which the person is fully functioning, knowing and accepting themselves for who they are as well as the reality, able to discern between superficial and real, and they usually cultivate a deep and meaningful relationship with others despite their differences. They also always have appreciation for life. Another group of people who fascinate me are those sitting on the border between self-actualization and self-esteem. They are one step away from self-actualized. It was sort of like a see-through layers that separate them from it, but sometimes it seemed like it's almost impossible to break through. Let's call this group not yet self-actualized people. So what are the differences between this population and self-actualized population? I have finalized some differences between the two. Self-actualized people, they have genuine interest in people within the community and universal laws. And they can be the survivors of a life-threatening situation or their family members have been, which make them realize how beautiful and valuable life is. They become empathetic and altruistic with others. On the other hand, not yet self-actualized people, they're mainly interested in themselves, their family, work, their clients, and some colleagues that they're closely connected with. The majority of them possess individualistic mindset. They show less interest in problems and people which are beyond themselves. One of the most important things I have learned from the self-actualized people is that they're extremely patient, humble, and non-judgmental when it comes to problem solving. They never think of themselves as more superior than others, considering how knowledgeable and skilled they are. And also because of this beautiful quality, they're very well respected and appreciated in the community. When joining the workforces, these are the people you should be looking for. They're open and honest and could be an incredibly good teacher. Besides, unexpected events and certain life experiences such as illnesses, divorces, and inflations, having more children may cause someone to fluctuate between these zones of the hierarchy. The population within the three bottom stages are more likely to be impacted. Number 3, how to respond to the grey area. In any job that you do, there is always some grey area in which the solutions to resolve these situations are not always well defined. Different senior colleagues may provide different advice to the same problem. However, it is your responsibility to review all of these possible solutions before implementing them. What most people do doesn't necessarily mean it is the right thing to do. You should always evaluate and re-evaluate the advice that you get as well as your decision. So just take everything with a grain of salt. The truth will remain truth and will be recognized until it is proven, and false will uncover itself at some point. Also, this area hasn't been addressed could be because of their scarcity. Let's look at an example together. Due to the complicated classes allocation, I end up in 2 different classes for the same unit. Sort of like I was allocated then withdrew and was reallocated. For somehow the previous assignment was lost in the system and I had to resubmit it to be remarked by the second lecturer. So same assignment for the same rubric, same criteria, same unit. I got 1 distinction and the other 1 high distinction. One believed that I had provided sufficient evidence, whereas one think that my work lacked some core concepts. I appreciated both feedbacks and the time that they spent on marking it. However, it just showed that with the exactly same provided materials, their point of view on the same subjects are slightly different. Besides, in this instance, the outcome of this particular problem does not compromise one's health or financial well-being. In situations which it does, you need to be extra cautious about your decisions. I suggest going with your instincts and knowledge from the most up-to-date policy. Another strategy that can be used is that to make lots and lots of observations. Surely within the department that you're working, some others probably facing the same grey areas that you are. Observe how they solve the problem and be curious about the outcomes. By doing this consistently, hopefully you'll be able to find the most appropriate solution to the problem. However, if the opportunities for that doesn't come around very often, apply your critical thinking. And the first thought that comes to mind is more likely to be the most accurate one, unless they are wrong. In a nutshell, I hope the video helped you to visualize what a typical job looks like before you enter the workforce. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. See you in the next video. Bye!